The Mariners had their spring breakout for 2026. Let's talk about it.
Baseball stuff!
Apologies on being a little bit late. We actually were supposed to be on about an hour or so ago, but yeah, that was where our scheduled timing was for 8:15, 8:20-ish. But yeah, well, families are having fun on Friday night, so just decided to hop on. Wanted to give something out. This might be a little bit shorter of a show. Wanted to talk about the spring breakout game because there was a lot of cool stuff to see, even though it ended up in a 7-3 loss. What we have here is the roster that was going into this game. Obviously some big names that we were super pumped to see, with Ryan Sloan getting the start, and then Kade Anderson following him, and so on and so forth. We had Charlie Balinson is on this list, and he's our number 26 prospect. But I mean, the guy is off of his parents' insurance, and he is he can he can get his own rental card now. So I don't know, 26 years old. You tell me if that's still a prospect or not. But it is what it is. Charlie Balinson still very good, but I think at this point in his career, we're looking at something different from him. It's kind of that make or break. It's one of those things where when you draft a 24-year-old, you kind of got to see what's going on with it and everything. But we did get to see some other guys here, getting through the pitchers that we got to see: Ryan Sloan, Kade Anderson, Balinson, Hintz, Marcus Peters, and Tyler Cleveland are the pitchers that we did get to see from this list. And then on the hitter side, we had Johnny Formello leading off, followed by Arroyo, Emerson, Laz Montes, Celestin, Stevenson, Sweesbell, Bautista, and Dickerson. That kind of filled out your starting lineup. Other guys that kind of factored in were Jimenez, Romero, St. Laurent, Sundstrom, Becker. We did get to see him. If some of you guys might have gone to some Modesto games, or have access to watch those games, so you might have seen Becker for a few games last year. This is our first time getting to see him. And then we got to see Josh Caron, Charlie Pagliarini, and Aiden Torek. So a lot of cool stuff that we can kind of take away from this game. What did we see? Well, we did get to see a loss, 7-3. Laz Montes goes 3 for 3 in kind of unfamiliar fashion, right? 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Didn't quite tear the cover off the ball, and had a stolen base. Ended up with 2 RBI on the day as well. But just nice to see him put the bat on the ball and just kind of take what he's done in at the major league level of spring training, and just being able to come down at this level and just play the best. And also hats off to Milwaukee, underrated farm system. I was not familiar with their game. I say that, but man, so good. 1 through 9, I was very impressed with Milwaukee, and very excited to see what some of those guys do. But kind of getting back into the Mariners here, Jorger Bautista was definitely a big story today. Some of you may or may not know of Jorger Bautista. When he was picked up in the international free agency, his bat was one of the big things that people were talking about, and his raw power, and you got to see some of that. Johnny Formello, and we'll get into that. I do have the breakdown of all that right here. But Johnny Formello definitely showed up. Michael Arroyo, Nick Becker, Aiden Torek all had hits. Luis Sweesbell with a hit, and then we'll definitely get into Ryan Sloan. But I mean, I want to get into this home run first. I know Ryan Sloan was kind of the top of the game, and it was definitely the first thing you saw, but I just want to just take a look at this thing. I mean, Jorger Bautista, bam, absolutely obliterated, goes off. This the American Family Fields little thing there. It went behind that. And so for those out there, actually, we put up our own little stat cast, and here you have it. Boom. As you can see, kind of where that canister is out there. It went just behind there, and it registered on our Statcast, which is thanks to Google Maps, at 455 feet. Absolutely tanked. I believe it was 450. And I think it was like 110 off the bat. Absolutely tanked. Jorger Bautista, keep this kid in the back pocket, just turned 18 not too long ago. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in Modesto and have 15 to 20 plus bombs, like just based off of that swing. Very excited to see what he can do and where he's kind of going and all that stuff. Nick Becker was the other one I wanted to highlight really quick. Here he is. You're getting to see him finally. A high school kid just drafted last year out of New Jersey. Bang, and there's your first base hit, Nick Becker. He also has a brother that plays at University of Virginia. Worth noting that where his brother's kind of lining up right now, it's still early in the college season, but where he's lining up could potentially be a Mariners pick late in the first round. Would love to see his older brother end up on the Mariners as well. There's a lot of good names to look at in this draft. I'll definitely drop some names as I'm seeing them and hearing them. And I love college baseball just as much as I love watching the Mariners. So I definitely have a lot of names that you need to keep an eye on for the Mariners pick. Since I have you right here, LJ Mercurius, just keep an eye on them. For those out there who love the stat hound and go out and look at video, LJ Mercurius out of University of Oklahoma, right-handed pitcher. Just put him in the back pocket. But I mean, we got to see Nick Becker. We got to see Jorger Bautista. We talked a little bit about where that ball landed on the Up West Sports Statcast. Ryan Sloan. This was another big one. Boom. Here's Ryan Sloan right here. This guy. Look at how MLB ready he kind of looks already. I know I'm speaking way ahead of myself when I say that, but he looks, the way he throws, the way his pitches move. And if you notice, I was actually talking to one of my really good friends about this. The way he gets down the mound is very Woo-esque. The way he gets into his back leg, drives into the ground before, kind of going all the way down, which kind of creates a really cool VAA. And I think that's part of the reason, along with his movement. Let's take a look at this fastball again. Look at his back leg. Just goes straight up, straight down into it, and then bam, down the mound. And he's got a really good VAA, and he's got really good movement on his sinker there. And then here's his cutter. Just absolutely disgusting. Wham! See ya. Also, shout out to Mariner Miners. I already had them kind of up here and everything. One of the best accounts that you could possibly follow if you're on Twitter. I believe they're on other platforms as well. But Mariner Miners, they've been around, gosh, for I don't know, since 2012. I think is what they came in on, and I've been following them since 2014. Never thinking I was going to get into sports media or even Mariner media, whether it be fan led or not. But I mean, Mariners Miners, just want to give them a shout out. If you're not following them already, make sure. And let's take a look at this cutter again. My God, sit down. Another thing to mention, Ryan Sloan, great day, and we're very excited to see what this kid could do. I think at age 20, 21, if he was pitching in the MLB this year, I think he would actually have some success. Could I sit here and tell you he's going to have 200 innings of success? No. I can't sit here and say that, but I could say if he had like a 120 inning season where you ramped him up appropriately, like you've done in the past with Brian Wu and Bryce Miller and George Kirby and even Logan Gilbert when he was coming up, if you do that with him and have him set for like 120 innings, I think he'd have a sub 4 ERA. I'll go out on a limb and say that. I think Ryan Sloan, especially if you're taking him out in like the between innings 4, 5, and 6, so he's not seeing a lineup a third time. Yeah, I think he can give you a sub 4 ERA and actually give you a quality season, but we're kind of stacked at the top. So keep on marinating down there. One of the other stories of the day kind of is Kade Anderson, and he looked like he just needs just needs a little bit more time. And he wasn't able to find the zone. He wasn't able to be Kade Anderson today. Maybe it was just an off day. That's the beauty of it. It is still March. It is still super early. He hasn't pitched at all professionally besides spring training. So I'm giving him a lot of grace here. Uh, there's so much to like about Kade Anderson. So I'm very excited to see what he can do. His the big part was he was just not able to locate in the zone very well today. So just a story to kind of keep following. I know I've heard Divish go back and forth between whether start in Everett or start in Double A. I would assume he's going to start in Everett, just even if it's just a handful of starts before he gets bumped out to Arkansas. But yeah, Kade Anderson didn't have his best stuff today, but he does have good nasty stuff. We got his slider right here. I wanted to talk about it. Whap, boom, got him. Kade Anderson. Yeah. And then yeah, he walked the house a little bit and then gave up a big 3-run bomb to Luis Pena. So Kade Anderson's just another story just to kind of keep your eyes on. Marcus Peters, the other Peters, from Dallas Baptist, the left-handed pitcher. Name's blanking on me. Mason Peters. Sorry. Mason Peters was another name I just wanted to highlight from today. If you look at his stat line, yeah, it wasn't a very good day, but I like this kid's stuff. There's a chance this kid could fit in the rotation or out of the pen. He does have some pretty nasty stuff. His velo's not going to be anything alarming. It's not going to be like, oh man, he's sitting 96, 98. I like that out of Lucas Kelly. Lucas Kelly's the kind of sidearm submarine type of guy that comes out of Arizona State, and I've seen him up to like 96, 97. Didn't get to see him throw today, but just keep an eye on him. He's another guy to keep in the back pocket. But Mason Peters, this was him today. Got a really nice off speed. He's got a handful of off speed pitches. His changeup is also pretty good. His slider is pretty good, but his curveball, I mean, that's a tone setter right there. And the fastball, I think he kind of sits 91, 93, tops out at 95. We got some really good players to kind of keep an eye on, and I'm super excited for this upcoming season and what we got ahead of us and everything. The hitters kind of showed up a little bit today. They didn't put the foot on the gas pedal the whole time. I was hoping that they would be able to put up maybe five plus runs, but you got to see a little bit of them getting chemistry. This is the biggest thing I love about the spring breakout game, and they should have done this a long time ago, is that these guys are building chemistry. These are your guys that you want to play, on your roster down the road for the most part, right? Like you're going to use some and trade chips and toss them out and everything, but for the most part, you want these guys to gain chemistry. You want these guys to be playing with each other a lot. You might have some guys that are in AAA, AA, spread throughout all levels, but if they can get these moments where they get to play with each other, builds that chemistry. We just saw it in the World Baseball Classic. All those guys playing for their home country and everything, they're building chemistry and quick bonds. By all means, they have bonded quickly in the World Baseball Classic. So I'm very excited to see what they'll do next year for the prospect games, for the spring breakout flurry of games. I would love if they actually did a World Baseball Classic style where you have, pools of teams. Then you play like a week of games to kind of, separate seeding, I guess is the best way to put it, but all teams make it to the next level or next way. There's a lot of things to kind of juke and jive around that. We saw this year, Laz Montes and Ryan Sloan, Kade Anderson are playing up with the big boys, in real spring training. So you kind of dodge that a little bit, but if you can get like a pool play of it, build it out that way, and then the next week you have kind of your like playoffs, if you will. I'd love to see it set up that way, but the more games that these guys can play together, the better. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Who'd you like today? I think Ryan Sloan is probably an easy favorite. Jorger Bautista is an easy favorite. Laz Montes with 3 hits today. Let me know what your favorites are. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would love to know kind of where you guys see everybody panning out. Is there an unrecognized guy that we're not talking about? My unrecognized guy, I'll go ahead and give you guys one, Charlie Pagliarini with 20 plus bombs last year. Keep an eye on him. He's an aging prospect for sure, but keep an eye on him. He's just another person that could, if given the chance, make a dent in the major league level. You just never know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and love to talk to you more.